Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today I'm going to do a camera review, which I think I've never done an actual camera review, but I've had this camera long enough. I just made a whole article for a website, and basically I feel like I know exactly all the little ins and outs of this camera, and that camera is the Cambo wide 650. Okay, so when you're talking about large format cameras, you're usually thinking of the usual bellows, kind of slow movement, field camera that you can use out and about. This is actually exactly let's say it's the antithesis or like the contrary to that. This is a handheld sort of weird technical camera that looks kind of like weird. That's all I can basically say right now. But this is a technical camera mostly used for architecture, interior photography, and it lacks a ton of features. And for those features that it lacks, I was one of those people that thought, you know what, who wants a Cambo wide? Why would you want that when you can get a Chamonix or Shenhao, Intrepid, whatever field camera and do everything you want movement-wise pretty much, or a proper technical camera like a CNR P2, CNR F2 and whatnot. So I got this from a friend. It's a loan from a friend called Oscar, so thank you, Oscar. And I've been using it for a while. I did a little shooting video, which I'll link on the top wherever it lets me link it. And I'm being super surprised. Why? The lack of features is actually its strongest feature. And that is, less you have, the more it opens your head to composition, and the least you worry about movements and things like that, what lens to pick and whatnot. So this camera has a fixed lens, and I mean fixed in the terms that it goes on the cone, so you can see this is the cone. Now you can take the cone off and put a different one, but it has a 65mm super angle on from Schneider. As you can see, it's 5.6, and the only feature this camera has is shift. And you might be like, only shift? Well, yes. You can see a little bar here and this little wheel, so we unlock. Let me do it. There we go. I unlock this bigger one, and the small one is geared shift. So there it goes, 10mm to one side and 15mm to the other side. That is all it does. And you might be like, whoa, I don't want a camera like that. It lacks so many features. It's so expensive. And this is the inside, so you guys can see. When I shift one way, now it's on one way, and it goes all the way to the other way. And you might say, hey, Nico, that's only lateral shift. I want to do vertical shift. To do vertical shift, you can just basically swap the cone and put it the other way around. So for that, we get these little metal tabs, and we push them one way or the other. Let me see. It goes downwards. We grab the cone, take it off, put it sideways, basically turn 90 degrees. Sorry if I do this on camera, I just don't want to drop it. And now it's on vertical shift. So now we would have the movements here. So you see the tab here on this finger, and we can shift it upwards, as you can see, or shift it downwards. Then the back, it has a graph lock system. You can use roll film backs, you can use Polaroid backs and whatnot. Everything that works with graph lock works with this. And your ground glass, which has a Fresnel, which helps use this wide angle. You probably can't really see the Fresnel, but it kind of gives you an idea of the reflections you're getting from this beauty dish, whatever it's called. So now we put back this on the focusing screen, which goes the other way around. And for that, we just have to basically push it down, and that's off camera. And now it uses 4x5 normal double film holders or sheet film holders, and that's it. You can see the screen here. I use it with focusing, like a local focus loop, and I'll recommend the one I use, and the dark cloth that I use, I'll put it on the link too, so on the description too, so you guys can purchase it if you're interested. And it has this little viewfinder, which to me, you can take it off. It has two cold shoes on the top, so you can put a bubble. It has no bubbles, so you might want to get one of those third-party bubble levels. And then another thing is this will let you kind of compose how you want. So you can carry it in your hand if you want, and then put it back onto the camera when you want it. It does have some sort of scale here, but I don't really see any features on that. It kind of looks like it doesn't do anything at all. The only problem is now this camera, you have it on, let's say, what is it called? Landscape mode. If you want to put it on portrait mode or vertical, you can't really shift the back. It doesn't have a rotating back. So that means you have to grab your tripod, and you have to basically turn it 90 degrees, and then you can shoot. So it's a bit cumbersome. If you don't have a proper tripod head, please get a proper one, I highly recommend the Manfrotto 410. I'll leave a link on the description too. That to me is the geared and cheapest lightweight Manfrotto tripod head out there. It's 3-way head. I don't like ball heads. I'll make a video why I don't like ball heads, but basically for large format, you want to move each axis separately. So you don't want to have like a whole wobble. But if you want to shoot verticals, you have to just move it all the way there. I focus, as I said here. The lens has the usual large format settings, so opening, closing, shutter, and aperture. But it also has, as you can see on this little knob, a focusing helical. So you can focus from infinity to around 3 feet or 1 meter. Is it 3 feet? Or yeah, 3.5 feet. Or 1 meter. It has a little scale so you can actually shoot without having to focus. But I highly recommend you focus. Basically for critical composition and focus, it's best to do that. It's a 65, so it's pretty wide angle. Usual standard lens on large format is around 135 to 150. 65 is almost half of that. So yeah, this is a wide angle lens. And this camera has these little grips here that actually do nothing for the camera, just, you know, not bumping it in a backpack and whatnot. It has the little lens cap, which you can use, which is fine. I actually have it in Cambo so I don't lose it. I have so many lenses. And yeah, this is about all there is to this camera. It did come with different cones. So as I took the cone off, let me take it off again. It came with different cones, as you can see here. One thing I have to say is this cone does vignette, so don't use all the movement. I don't know if I said that already, but basically, if you unblock it and you shift it one way or another, let me do. So if you shift it all the way, it will give you some sort of vignetting there. So don't do it the full movement. I do around 10 millimeters one way or the other. And then you could change these cones. These cones come in a 47, 58, 90, 65, I think even 100 mil. I left the PDF in the description. It's officially from the Cambo company, which is great. I love companies that still have their old PDFs online. And as you can see, there's not much to it. Just a cone, a little kind of grip to it. And the grip has the space for the cable release, but this one's missing the cable release. But yeah, that's basically all there is to this camera. Would I recommend it? I honestly recommend this for anyone that has fun shooting cityscapes, buildings, interiors. Landscape, I don't think so much because you can't really tilt the lens to do shame film. But yeah, it's a really fun camera. The limitations of the camera make it so fun because you just plant it on a tripod. You can even take it on your tripod. It's pretty lightweight. Walk around and be like, oh, that looks cool. You put it there, you shift a little bit, and you're good to go. You take a picture. I've shot tons of pictures with this, having so much fun. I even carried it on a little Domkey F6 or something like that with a few film holders. It's super fun camera. I left a link below if you want to purchase a camera like this. They don't go cheap. For around $1,000 you can get one, but honestly, it's super fun tool. If you have the money to spare, I highly recommend the Cambo Wide. If you have any questions, guys, leave any questions you want in the description. As always, this video is sponsored by Camera Store, so thank you, Camera Store, for sponsoring this. And I hope you enjoyed this Cambo Wide review. I will be posting some pictures of the Cambo Wide and a video of me shooting it. But yeah, super fun camera, highly recommend it. Wish I could afford it, but I can't. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you in the next video.